Welcome trainers to Poke Battle Network. I am Silph, and today we are taking a look at the Weather Cup. This is an interesting cup to look at because it is going to be our GBL Cup come January 19th through the 26th. But it's also going to be able to be in the Silph Wave Ranked system from January 16th to January 29th, which means if you're a little tired of Ember Cup, you can jump into this Weather Cup and try out a new meta that'll still go into your wave and get you the rounds filled that you want to have filled. I suggest doing it. It's super fun. But looking at this meta, you see that it's fire, ice, rock, and water. This seems really RPS. Now in GBL, you're going to have 3, you're going to go in blind. I'm pretty sure it's going to be real RPS for a lot of battlers. But in Silph, you have an opportunity of showing 6 and only picking 3. So there's a lot more options to play, where counter is now more available and accessible in the Silph format. And we're going to check that out as I'm going to go and try out a Flash for tournament for everyone practice, and we are going to have a 3-rounder with some 5 battlers, having a first look at this cup, seeing what we can build and what kind of Pokemon we can have fun with. As always, I will provide some more information with GBL because hey, battling is battling. So off to the side, you'll see 3 Pokemon that I really like. So let's head down to Studio B and get into my first round. So we are down here in Studio B, and we're going to go through my first round. As you see, I'm bringing in Lantern, Sudowoodo, Ludicolo, Abomasnow, Quagsire, and Toxapex. I'm going to lead Quagsire, and I'm going to tell you why I brought these Pokemon. As you see, the Aurora's the Ice typing. I brought these Pokemon. Lantern's #1 on the PV poke, so I want to get the #1 in there. Sudowoodo is a counter user, and there's only one other counter user, and it's Fire. And I don't think Fire has any place in this meta whatsoever. But Charizard can play. Blaziken can play. So if you can play those Pokemon, by all means go for it. Look at that. There's a fire Pokemon right there. So Ludicolo I'd have as my 3rd one. And I'm rocking Razor Leafer. And this Razor Leaf, this is where Razor Leaf is going to shine. I think Razor Leaf Pokemon are going to be a beautiful thing in this meta, and just put so much hurt down because it's a very water heavy meta. Followed up with Abomasnow. Then I've got some Quagsire. Again, I like Quagsire as my mud boy. I've got Rock to hurt. The Rock is super effective. Plus I've got Earthquake. If there's no shield, you can nuke a ton of things. Follow that up with this Toxapex, who is actually perfect. This is a 100 Toxapex. So again, bringing in Quagsire, like that rock typing. If I see fire, I can throw it out there. It doesn't really do, it can soak up all this water energy. Doesn't really faint so hard. And now I've got just tons of energy to throw Stone Edge. I feel Quagsire is going to be really good in both Silph and GBL. I think you can play Quagsire really well if you can watch out for the Razor Leafers, because they will be there. Those Razor Leafers will be out there. So heads up on that one. But as you see, I take the first matchup. We're going to get into the second matchup. I'm going to bring Toxapex because I want to see what this tank can do. I'm going to lead with this tank. We're going to go after it. I don't think he's going to lead the Aurorus again. And if he does, Brine is right there. That's the beauty of Toxapex. He's got Brine. Not a great water move. It's not Surf, but it's still super effective. And we are going to bring in Sudowoodo on top of this Lampinant. And that's in another Fire Ghost Pokemon. Look at it. It's rocking Bubble. So that's a really interesting Pokemon. I don't know what moveset it has. It shields, so it obviously wants to stay in for this matchup. I'm going to have to give up the shield because I don't know what it has, and it's got an Energy Ball. So this is a wonderful Pokemon for you to use the Battler if in GBL and in this meta for Silph if you're trying to throw people off as a surprise. For those of the people who aren't watching Poke Battle Network, Lampinant right here could be a big mix-up for you. So enjoy that one. But the Stone Edge does come through. Again, Quagsire, just the Mud Shot, super effective against that Fire typing, against that Rock typing. So great. The Stone Edge does almost over half of Ludicolo's health. And it's Bubble Ludicolo, not even Razor Leaf. So I'm not even worried about my Quagsire losing any health. Gonna see what an Energy Ball does. Oh my goodness. Toxapex. You beautiful beast! What a beautiful Pokemon! The Brine gets the final shield. In comes what could only be Meteor Beam, and I'm still... Oh, Meteor Beam does it, but there's no shield left as this Meteor Beam is going to get onto my opponent's Sudowoodo, and the attack goes up and the Ludicolo goes down. Toxapex, Quagsire, and Ludicolo seem to be a very dominant line here. Toxapex, if it can soak up that energy ball and Grass Knot like that, you might have one of the safest swaps in the game in a Toxapex. So this could be great for you, again, in GBL and in Silph. But looking at the counter user, Sudowoodo, only going to be good for Silph. Why? Because you're going to have to play around a lot of stuff, and if you don't get the right pairing in GBL, you're just going to end up hard losing yourself. I'm going to take that energy ball. Again, I'd suggest rocking Razor Leaf. It is just so dominant. It just chunks away. I've got Crawdilly here sitting at number 2 on PV Poke, and it's almost gone with the health. So pretty happy about that. Look at that. Aurora's trying to get those Powder Stones, and look, it came in. I didn't even throw a charge move. Look at how much damage Razor Leaf does. This could be the Razor Leaf Cup. Like, expect Razor Leaf, Razor Leaf. Bastiodon is allowed. Grass Hole could be a thing. Megas can be allowed, though. So be aware, because Mega Charizard can be a thing. Mega Gyarados can be a thing. Mega Swampert will possibly be a very big thing. So be on the lookout for those, as Megas are included in the Silph format. But those 3 Pokemon, Toxapex, Quagsire, and Ludicolo with that Razor Leaf, just really good to have as a core start for Silph and for your GBL line. As you see, I've now taken the matchup there. So GG's to my first round opponent. We're going to go get into round 2. It is round 2 of our Flash for Everyone tournament. We are checking out the Weather Cup. It is a first look for a lot of us. So really excited that I'm loving the damage Razor Leaf is doing. Like, I'm really excited that it's actually playing. I'm loving it. It's so fun. I'm going to bring in a Abomasnow, and look at that. The Mega Gyarados. Ooh. Okay, so Megas can play. Be sure that you can get the right CP for your Mega Evolution, because if you evolve it, you cannot boost it once it's evolved. So, yeah, made that mistake. Be sure to check that out. As you see here, Charizard, the Blast Burn, the Lantern, sticking it out. Number 1 fighting in there. Get the Surf going. My opponent did have the Crawdilly, which was number 2 on PV Poke. Charizard again. I feel like you could play it in Silph, but you're definitely not going to be playing it in GBL. Fire does not have a place. Counter, the only other counter user is Blaziken, and if Razor Leaf, Grass Hole is a thing, Bastiodon's just gonna whoop that thing, and Razor Leaf can chunk it down before it gets to a Blaze Kick, right? So I'm gonna throw this Rock Slide onto Ludicolo. Again, counter, a great asset here in Silph, as it always is, but you can totally tell the kind of pressure it puts on those rock Pokemon and the damage it does. Now Gyarados with the Waterfall, I don't want to see it, but it's got that Dark typing. I'm okay with that. Its count is super effective on Dark typing, and I take that matchup. Woo. But Megas can play, so be on the lookout for that. Super fun out there to have Mega Pokemon. So excited that we're going to see what it feels like to have it up there. And Toxapex again coming in. And look at that. Ninetales, that Ice typing, has that Fairy typing. Doesn't want to see this Poison. I'm just going to shield this. Just in case it's a Side Shock. It is Charm. So I'm not really worried about the damage. Charm, almost half my health is gone. I'm fine. Threw 1 charge move, and now I'm loaded. Brian coming in here hot. Brian coming in and gonna hit that Swampert. That's right, Shadow Swampert. Take that, Brian. You know what? I got another Brian for you, Shadow Swampert. Yeah. So I got the shield. Can I get to another Brian before? No. I'm gonna let this go through. If it's Earthquake, fine. It's Hydro. I stay alive. Guess what I got? Swampert. Brian again. My Hundo Toxapex is dominating with Brian. And oh, sniped by Razor Leaf. Now bring out the Gary. Oh my goodness. The Razor Leaf. Mwah. Muy bueno. Muy bueno. So, having some fun with these practice tournaments. I didn't even get to play Quagsire. Didn't feel like I needed it. We'll probably play. I don't know what this third line is. We're excited to see it, but I'm really loving this team. Giving me options all around. I feel safe with Toxapex again. Without seeing Razor Leaf on their Ludicolo, I don't mind. And you know what? Those wing attacks aren't really doing that much. Let them bait or throw a Blast Burn. Okay, I'm out. And now I can bring in Lantern and just zap this thing down. I will say this, noticing in this tournament, probably you could run Water Gun on Lantern in both GBL and Silph. Both of those cups, you can actually get away with that fast move pressure because of the Silph now unlocking the shield, with Razor Leaf being so dominant in this meta and having that Mud Shot too. Throwing that out there, like, you can do some damage. Swampert, again, a great Pokemon, gets that shield pressure. So Water Gun on Lantern could be a great thing for you, especially if you come across that steel typing, those rocks, you know, chunk them down. If someone's bold enough to play fire in this meta, absolutely chunk it down. So look into Water Gun Lantern again if you'd like to check that out. The Brine comes in, the Brine gets shielded. Earthquake goes in, it's super effective. And look, I got a shield for Lantern. I'll take that Hydro Cannon energy off your hands, and I got no shield for my opponent as this Silph will come in. Like I said before, Water Gun again is great, but the shield pressure, the moves, always good to have. So GG's to my battle. I am 6-0, and it was really good analyzing and being really amazed by these last two. But let's shoutcast this final tournament. This final round, right? Let's just do that. We're gonna get some shoutcast final round in. Let's go to round 3. Alright, it is round 3. We are 6-0. We're about to play Rostalon in a practice round. Again, Razor Leaf, so dominant, the Ludicolo. I'm going to lead with it, and he's got the Sand Slash. This is a great ice Pokemon with that steel typing too, getting into the Bulldoze and the Ice Punches. Like, this is a wonderful Pokemon, but you got to be careful of that counter. So Ludicolo will probably play in my next matchup. I'm going to go for that Stone Edge. Here we go. Super effective on that ice Pokemon. Now, the reason Abomasnow is great, it's got the Weather Ball for grass typing, it's got Energy Ball for the Mud Boys, but it also has a weakness, and that is Quagsire, because Quagsire has that Stone Edge, and it can force that shield. So the Weather Ball, as you see, doesn't do much. I'll survive and throw the Stone Edge and win that matchup between that Abomasnow. In comes the shield for the Bulldoze, because I do not want to take that Mud Shot. And look at Razor Leaf. I don't need a shield because I'm already farmed and fed. So Razor Leaf's coming in. Ice Beam. Ooh, in time. And Razor Leaf doing a little bit of damage to that shield, that steel typing. The Bulldoze not very effective. Alolan Sand Slash. Can I take you down? Ooh, I'm doing almost as much damage as that Shadow Claw is to me, and the Bulldoze will take me out there. Toxapex still with the shield, just gonna farm it all the way down, but I definitely want to throw that Brine. Cannot afford to lose a shield here and lose this matchup. And oh, there it is. Brine goes in and through. So, we led with Ludicolo. This is the final round. The team's been doing so well. The Toxapex, Ludicolo, Quagsire line is chef's kiss to that. So, Lantern's coming in, and it's the Poliwrath, Shadow Poliwrath. Ooh, wonderful Pokemon. We've been seeing it a lot in Ember Cup, so people might feel comfortable playing it. And it's the Abomasnow, and I'm like, I'm not falling for that catch. Bam, I go for the Surf, so I still have energy, and look at that. We're just going to farm City with Toxapex. Toxapex! Get yourself an Evolved Toxapex. Doesn't matter about IVs. This is a 100 IV Toxapex. Can take everything. Watch what it can do. Look at that. Those aren't GBL standards. That is going to be so effective. Like, Brine does nothing, and then I get a little more farm. Bring back out your Swampert. And look at that. Another Brine ready to go. I got the Ludicolo in the back. There is just a Poliwrath that I've got to worry about. Poliwrath's going to throw the energy. I am not going to shield. I'm going to let it go. All the energy is gone, but look at that. Now you're in a switch lock. I'm not going to shield this. You've shown me that Ludicolo is everything. So I'm just going to throw the Thunderbolt. I'm going to get the shield. I'm going to take a Pokemon out. And then I'm going to eat you alive with Razor Leaf. Eat you alive with Razor Leaf. I got 2 shields. And you'll survive with the shield. Mwah! Wonderful! I believe that is it. 8-0, and it is the Probopass in the back. Again, that rock type allowing it steel typing to play through. Spark, Rock Slide, a wonderful Pokemon to try out in the Silph meta. May be good for you in GBL as well, but in comes the counter user, and look at that, though, all that steel typing that wants to come out. This is why Sudowoodo will be good. This is why Sudowoodo will be good. Stop those steals. Look at that shield. In comes the Rock Slide, and I'm just countering down. So much energy. 2 Rock Slides ready to go. The Abomasnow doesn't want to see counter. I'm realizing the effect that Sudowoodo has here. And with 2 shields left, I will take this last matchup. Razor Leaf put so much pressure on teams. They brought in so much to go anti-Razor Leaf that they wouldn't be eaten, that Sudowoodo came and cleaned everything up. So GG's to all the battlers out there who are trying out this first round, first look at Weather Cup. Weather Cup sure had some interesting looks with Pokemon that you can play and have some real good fun with Spice in GBL style. And in Silph, what seems like could be a very RPS meta is actually more even out with water Pokemon with poison typings and counter users that are throwing rock around. Having that Razor Leaf was huge on Ludicolo, and I suggest that on everything. Getting yourself a Toxapex out there is a wonderful skill to have. So do that for those 2 you can definitely use for your GBL and Silph team. So good luck out there, trainers, as you build for these last 2 weeks of January for your Silph round 1 waves. This is wonderful, 40 rounds. So if you're done with Ember Cup and you want something fun, here's the weather. For you GBLers out there, Thursday the 19th is when the Weather Cup is activated. Again, Razor Leaf will be a thing. Be on the lookout, but definitely check yourself a Toxapex, because that could be the key to break those core Bastiodon, Razor Leaf, Grasshole lines. Be sure to hit like and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date on all the fun, amazing metas and tournaments that are happening for battlers. We are also providing the news so that you are up to date on what's happening in the battling world, whether it's Play Pokemon Championship Series, Silph Factions, or Silph Meta Leaderboards. Thank you all for watching again. I'm Silph, and like always, enjoy your battles.